Hi, and welcome to Hit Save on That, the podcast where we intentionally remember the things that we learn as we go through life so that we can apply them and be successful in any arena. It's my favorite thing to talk about because I don't want to forget lessons that I've learned throughout the years, and I want to pass them along if they can help anybody else. That's what I want to do. And we have a business called Ava Loren Bride, both in Virginia and in South Carolina. The store in Virginia this year will see about 4,000 brides, and we are super excited about all of that. But we're constantly focused on one important thing, and from that thing, everything else flows. If that thing is off, nothing else flows, and it is the culture inside the shop. So it's really important in your business, the culture that you're creating, and that comes with the philosophy of what you're there to do, what you believe as the owner, or maybe you're the manager, or maybe you're just a team member there. You're not the owner or the manager, you're a team member, but what your purpose is in what you are doing within that organization will be reflected in so many other things. It's not just one dimensional. It's completely connected. So the good news is you yourself can set the intention of what you're there to do and accomplish that and reach that goal. No matter what anybody else around you is doing, you can set that intention, but then you have to work to keep that intention. You have to purposefully live that out. So as a business grows, one of the first things that can struggle with is to maintain the original culture. When it's smaller, it's easier to retain the culture that you're trying to produce or the culture you're trying to live within. But then as it scales, it's harder to maintain that many times. So there's lots of key intentional things to do, both for the framework itself, how you create that framework, what the purpose is, how the leaders within that framework know what their purpose is and what their mission is. There's lots of things like that that are important to talk about, yes. But the thing I want to talk about that applies to whether you're a small, tiny bridal boutique or whether you're a big one. And again, it's not just bridal boutiques. This is for any kind of business. You can apply these principles that we're talking about today. But I want to talk about things that create a cultural drift, as we would say, things that start to happen and they don't happen with any sort of bad, like malintent. There's not this bad motivation as to why these things happen. There are definite normal reasons as to why these things happen. But in order to avoid them taking your culture down, you have to intentionally pull against them and take action so that these don't take root. So we're going to hit some of these. Pay attention, take good notes, hit save on this because it's going to be super important to maintain or build or protect the culture that you have in your store. The first is you must make sure that there is a solid rule in your store that is constantly policed and made sure this does not happen, that you do not talk negatively about brides. You do not talk negatively about brides. What does that mean? Do we then just have this rose-colored glasses that what we're doing is not difficult and that brides aren't difficult and that their moms aren't difficult and their sisters and friends and that it's all just peachy keen and they were great and we were great and all that? That's not what I'm saying whatsoever. It is difficult what we do. It is very difficult. And humans themselves are difficult. Interactions together as humans, as individual people, is something we have to do carefully, intentionally, with wisdom, with experience. We have to learn about relationships as we grow up in our life, right? The same with brides. We are constantly learning more about them, understanding their perspective, empathizing into what they are thinking and feeling, and knowing how to help them avoid obstacles. All of that kind of study is so important because it is a high stakes emotional situation. So people behave in some very unusual ways many times. But if we have a negative mindset about brides or allow just complaining about brides or acting like brides are the problem or moms are the problem, complaining about them, if we let that stand, it actually weakens us. And this is how that works. Creates a mindset where we are blaming or are frustrated with something outside of ourselves that we actually can't control or have any power to do anything about, is what that is kind of saying. It's like, well, it was this was the problem and they are the problem. And basically it relieves us of any quote unquote fault or blame, but at the same time, it relieves us of any responsibility to grow. It comes from a mindset that says, I just need to affirm that who I am and how I'm doing things is the only and best way. And there's nothing better to do than what I do and what I believe is right. And so I'm going to stay there. And anybody that doesn't align with that, the problem is on them. And I'm just going to complain about them and prove to everybody as loudly as I can that they were the problem and that I was not. That stunts your growth. Instead of going, that interaction did not go as I was hoping. I couldn't help the bride past XYZ. I couldn't help the mom past XYZ. Or that dynamic in there was so hard to navigate during that appointment. It's because this was happening, this was happening, as this was happening, and I couldn't figure out da 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 da. That is talking about the struggle. That is talking about the difficulty of it in a way that's saying, I want to figure it out. I want to know what I can understand more so that I will know what to do the next time this happens, because no question it will happen again. This kind of person, this kind of situation, this dynamic, this misunderstanding of things, this miseducation even that brides can come in with, that's going to happen again. You will face it over and over. And if you label it as that's the problem, I'm not the problem, then when the next one comes in, you just put them in that same category and say that was the problem, I'm not the problem, right? Complaining about brides, it begins a journey down that path where you then start just not liking brides, not liking moms, not liking it when brides bring moms and when brides don't bring moms. And you don't like it when they bring parties with them, and you don't like it when they don't bring parties with them. And any reason that you can point to that is like, well, this is why she didn't purchase. Now you don't like that scenario. And you start trying to avoid those scenarios. And I mean, it just snowballs. And it's this negative feeling instead of figuring out why they might be saying what they're saying so that you can get in front of it and lead it. One of those things with Do You Speak Bride that we talk about is when a bride comes in and she just wants to play. She just wants to put on dresses for fun, and she'll tell you that. She's like, I just want to put on dresses for fun. I'm not getting married for another 2.5 years, but I just can't help it. I just want to try on some dresses. Understanding that trying on dresses is fun. Like, we have to acknowledge that. Is there anything more fun than trying on dresses, trying on wedding dresses? I don't think so. I think you feel amazing in a wedding dress. And I totally agree. It's the most fun part of the process. It's what everybody's looking forward to the most. She might be fearing it the most too, because the stakes are so high, right? But the bride that comes in that wants to play, she really believes this is going to be so fun, and she just wants to start, and she's chomping at the bit. And that's the right energy that we want. We don't want to take the attitude, oh, you are so annoying, that you would think you can come into our business, our location of business, and play. These dresses cost money. Our time is valuable. Do you think all of this just happens just for free? Like, that's where many people's mindset goes to. And they get so frustrated that brides would think they would come in and play. This is the bottom line, though. The truth is, in the past, brides literally have thought they were coming in just to play. And it surprised them that they fell in love, and it was their dream dress. And it's a crazy story, like it was their dream dress and it just got put in the off the rack collection, and it's her perfect size and it's the perfect color. And it would not have been in this price point just 3 days ago. And yet it's here. How crazy awesome is that? Like, all the magical pieces of a story that make a bride know how special this moment is for her are real. They're all a part of that. So if we block it at the front, being frustrated that brides just want to play, then we are not in the leadership position. We are in the limiting position. We're trying to limit brides. And not all that comes from a negative, frustrating mindset that brides are actually fill in the blank. Whatever you've said about brides behind the scenes and complained about brides, you have that now in your head about brides. And so their behavior will frustrate you. It will annoy the fire out of you. So you've got to protect your most valuable asset, which is your mind and your heart towards brides. If you're going to be intelligent and leading and creative with them, you've got to put this rule in place. We don't talk negatively about brides. We don't blame brides. We don't complain about brides. We do talk about the struggle, the difficulty of that appointment, so that we can help learn and solve problems and look at things from different angles of people's experiences with relationships in their life, with people that might be similar to that in their life, sharing those perspectives, but also knowing that on the Do You Speak Bride platform, there's thousands of hours of videos covering almost every kind of scenario. So it's worth it to talk about the struggle that you face, because you might think, well, this was just an unusual struggle, but actually, newsflash, there's a video about this on the Do You Speak Bride platform. So know that. The reason we have that there is because we want you to grow. I don't want you to be weak. I wrote a couple things down about this, that obstacles always exist in life. In any and in every worthy endeavor, there are obstacles. So just going, you know what? That was the obstacle. That's what was stopping me from moving forward. That was the obstacle. Hey, everybody, obstacles slow us down, and they're bad because of that. Well, I couldn't move forward because there was an obstacle. That does you no good. It does you no good to holler obstacle and look at it and use it as an excuse as to why you couldn't move forward. Yes, it's an obstacle. Calling it that, calling attention to it, does not strengthen you, nor does it remove the obstacle. And I would like to do either of those and both of those. I would like to strengthen you, and I would like for those obstacles to be removed, right? So this is the process of studying and practicing and understanding and knowing that you have to change. You have to grow. Not just have to, you get to. You're not helpless. You're not a victim of someone else. You have the ability to learn and grow and get ahead no matter what obstacles or limitations are put in your way. And when you strengthen your muscles to get over that, and you strengthen your mind to figure out ways around it, and you strengthen your creativity and you find a way under it, and you're past it, then guess what? You don't worry about the next obstacle. You're stronger, smarter, more creative, more resilient, and you have more tools to use in your tool belt to overcome the next obstacle. So then it becomes, throw me a new one, throw me a new obstacle. I can't wait for it. I mean, look at the ninja competitions, right? American Ninja Warrior competitions, and you watch them go. The obstacles that they are facing are so varied and unexpected. They have to train in so many unique ways so that they're ready to just zip past all of it and fly past all of it and hang and swing and all the things that they do to get past things. It's mind-blowing, right? Are the obstacles easier in and of themselves for them than they are for me? Is it a different obstacle than if I were to go to that same course? Would the obstacle suddenly be bigger than what that person's facing? No, the difference is their ability compared to mine, their practice compared to mine, their mindset because of their practice, their confidence, their courage because they know they've tried this skill before. None of them are sitting back complaining that the course is hard. They welcome that the course is hard because they want to be a ninja warrior. This is us, whether it's in business or relationships or any kind of leadership thing that you're doing. Do not wish for it to be easier. Do not think that the only way to be successful is if the course is made easy for you. Stop talking about the obstacles and start practicing how to overcome them. And then you grow muscles and abilities you didn't have before. And then it doesn't matter how elite and difficult and impossible the course may be for the majority of other people, you're flying your way through it. That's my goal for you as a team member. That's my goal for me as a team member. That is what we should be looking to do. So let's stop complaining about the brides. They're not the obstacle. The other obstacles around them are stopping them from reaching the goal that they want to reach. You've got to be the expert coach, the practiced coach, the one who, when the bride throws out obstacles, they can't stop you. You know how to take them in stride and keep moving forward and carry the bride with you. Calling them obstacles doesn't make you stronger or make them disappear. So stop blaming the obstacles for your lack of growth. We want to grow, and growth means change. So you can't keep the mindset, well, you did a great job. It wasn't your fault. It was so great. You're great. She was just horrible. Okay, she might have been horrible. She might have been the worst human ever, maybe. Does that make you feel better to know that there's just nothing you can do? I don't think so. Doesn't make me feel better. I've dealt with many people before that I felt very limited in my capability of helping them. I didn't come away going, well, nobody, it's okay. Nothing you could have done. To myself, it was like, man, what was that? And is there anything I could have done differently? And where was my energy in that? And where was my thoughts? And what did I miss? What was I missing? How could I have made that better for her? How could I have found the way that her personality, the way her mind works, was connected better to the people who are with? Your brain just goes on that because you don't want to be in a helpless position again the next time. And unless I learn, I'm doomed to continue to be helpless. There's a video, you can follow this on YouTube. It's on Instagram as well. But it's just this incredible father-son duo. The father is a physical trainer. I've talked about him before on our master classes, and his son is handicapped. And it's just amazing to watch the dad work to understand how his son's body works and doesn't work to help him be able to learn how to function and overcome things, just like a little blip in the sidewalk as he's trying to move his little walker. How he can get in and out of a door of a house, how he can get in and out of the bed, how he can get in and out of the climbing up on a chair to get onto the counter, how he can pull himself up, like how to strengthen his upper body, strengthen his balance. The things that the dad comes up with to help this little boy grow his muscles in ways that help him for the rest of his life is beautiful to watch. The encouragement he has for him and the challenges he puts in front of him to push his son to be the strongest version of himself. And it's a struggle. Not one bit of it is easy. And that little boy is so brave and so determined. And that dad is so focused and so loving and so pushing his son. He's pushing his son. I'm sure there are days when his son's like, I don't think I can today. I don't want to do it today. And the dad's like, you can, let's go. You must. You're going to be the best you can be, right? So let's get up and do this. And what is it to do? Is it just to get up and just eat breakfast or eat lunch? No, it's actually, he's having him get up and do challenges that wear him out and that are hard to do. And when he overcomes those obstacles, you'll be with me shedding the tears that I shed when I watch those reels, because it's so inspiring. It's so challenging and rebuking and encouraging all at the same time. Let's be that in every area of our life, because all of us have some sort of handicap and obstacle. All of us do. What is yours? And are you ignoring what might be inside of you because you don't want to countenance the fact that there might be something you need to change and grow in, because maybe you've got a wrong concept thinking that the most important thing in this life to be is somehow perceived as perfect. That's not possible. It's not a real thing to be perceived as perfect. If there's something you need to grow in, that somehow that means there's something wrong with you. We're all human. There's all things that we need to grow. All of us have things we need to grow in. It doesn't mean something to be ashamed of. It's something to be excited about finding. Change your mindset. When you see someone and you see what they present and it's kind of an obstacle, I want your mind to think, oh, now I know where to start. Okay, now I know where to start. I get it. I understand where you are. Okay, so let's move forward in this way and know that you're going to grow and they're going to grow. So we're not going to talk negatively about brides. It's super important. Only talk about problems in order to solve them. Somebody can meet you emotionally at how the struggle feels. Yes, we can say, I know that felt hard. Yeah, that was super hard. And I know that your whole heart was to help them the best that you absolutely could. So well done. I know that you gave your 100%. So talk to me. What did you face in this? Let's talk about what the struggle was. Talk about it as a struggle, not a set thing that can't be changed. That learning area between what you don't know and becoming an expert at something is a struggle. So let's talk about that struggle so that we can solve it. Talking about how you felt in the appointment or felt in that experience and why you felt that is all good as you are headed to the point of what you can learn and how to settle yourself and center yourself so that you can get back to what are some things you can do to continue to move forward, and that person can't just shut you down. But I don't want you to feel limited. Something that we say in our business is we do not coddle. We're not going to coddle people within our business because we are trying to train leaders. And leaders do not get grown by being coddled. So it's not the easy path. It's not it's okay, you're doing a great job, at least you did your best. That type of situation. No, we're not set with the results. We're going to continue to learn and grow. And growing means change. So being strong changes our feelings about obstacles. Write that down somewhere. Being strong changes your feelings about obstacles. So if you don't want that feeling of what that obstacle made you feel when you're in that and you didn't like that feeling, the way to get past that feeling and not have it again is to actually build your abilities. And you'll feel differently when you see an obstacle. You'll be like, all right, yeah, I got this. That's a different kind of feeling. All right, next thing. A culture drift happens when you start being negative about the gowns you have. So a new gown comes in, you look at that gown and you're like, what is that? That is strange. Like, I don't like that. Or I think that's weird. Or like you start out loud verbalizing things you don't like about a gown. It is a huge problem in cultural drift because it sets up a dynamic around that gown that is not, the energy around it is not one of excitement to see who this gown expresses. All you're saying when you say you don't like that gown is you're showing an ignorance about the fact that there is a bride for every gown. And it's going to light her up and be the thing she has dreamed of and she couldn't find anywhere. And suddenly she found it at your shop. It's so different than anything that's out there on the internet or things that everybody else is wearing. She wants to wear something unique and wow, and that has her feeling in it, something about her that connects to her. So instead of looking at a gown and deciding whether or not it's your taste, because it's not about your taste. You're not trying to fix the bride's fashion problems by being her stylist. That's not what you're trying to do. You're trying to help her be seen more and connect more with the dress itself, with a dress itself. Like, what connects this bride emotionally to this gown that is expressing certain things. This gown is saying certain things. So when you're seeing a gown, the best stylist, the wisest stylist, the stylists that know what we're actually doing with brides, when they see a gown, one, they think all gowns are beautiful in their own way, just like people. And if you're saying, oh, I don't like that, you're judging a book by its cover. And that's not what we're doing. Gowns themselves speak. They're not just pasted on people. They connect with people. So you look at a gown and your question should be, what are the elements of this gown that would like express someone? So what are the details about it that are unique, that are different, that are things I haven't seen before, that are designed in such a way that I would have never thought to do? Like, don't show your ignorance by proclaiming how limited you are in thinking that every dress should be your taste. Every dress should be something you would design. That's a limited perspective. Don't have it. The open, bigger, truer, and more powerful perspective is, I cannot wait to see what bride puts this dress on and lights up, because it's going to be so cool to watch it. And she's going to be so unique. And I can't wait to see it, because this bride is probably going to be XYZ. Like, this bride is probably going to be so strong, but have a feminine edge to her. This bride is probably going to be so bare feet running through the field type person. Or this bride is going to be somebody who loves to wear edgy things. Like, she's very artsy, artistic, and wants to have a different perspective. And this is going to hit so incredibly on her frame, and only on certain frames will this dress hit well on. But I cannot wait to see whose it is. Do not think that your taste of how this designer has done what they've done is the litmus test of whether it's a great gown or not. And when you verbalize it out loud, it then becomes a negative. Other stylists will be more hesitant to pull it. And all of a sudden you've limited something that actually should be given a lot of opportunities to go on brides, so that either they fall in love with it or they have a stronger perspective of what they are wanting and liking. Give the dress a chance to do its magic, because you would be amazed once you put the dresses on how gorgeous it is. We tell that to brides. Don't judge the dresses on the hanger. Make sure you tell yourself, because when it gets on, it can shock you. So experiment with it, have fun with it, and be excited about every gown that comes in. You need to be excited about your entire collection, and don't doubt what you have in your collection. Be excited about it, use it, practice it, be creative on top of it, add sleeves to it, add crinolines to it, add capes to it, add sashes to it. Have fun creating with the dresses that you have, and create the wow no matter what you're handed. If you vocalize a negative thing about gowns, it will affect you and limit you more than you know. It doesn't raise your expertise of your taste to say that. It lowers your ability as a stylist to understand what it is that we're actually doing right here. And you've now limited yourself. I don't want you to be limited individually, and I don't want your culture to drift in a negative way to act like, well, the dress is the problem. Our dresses aren't that great. We don't have really great dresses. We don't have enough dresses. We don't have enough designers. We don't have enough, fill in the blank. Anything negative about your collection or a gown itself is going to hurt you more than anyone else. And your culture will be affected by that. You'll tank it. So there's an investment in the dresses that are in your store. Your owner has made an investment in those dresses. They need to perform well. And guess what? They saw something at market of this dress on a model that made them go, ooh, that would be unique to have, even if it's just for the marketing side of it itself that it's so unique. But that would be unique to have. We want to add that to our collection. Get excited and ask questions about, what do we love about this dress? What is strong about this dress? What does this dress communicate? And be positive about it. Keep your mind intentionally in that direction. Okay. Leaders in the shop, master stylists in the shop, senior stylists, guru stylists even, or prima stylists, whatever you want to call it. You be the leaders in that. Be positive about what you have. Also, negative about your community. Do not allow in your store negativity about your community. You don't want to say negative things about other businesses. I don't care if you think you have inside information about other businesses in your town. You will not share that negativity inside the four walls of your boutique. You will look for the strengths of the small businesses around you. And you will know that the things that maybe you've heard or whatever from other people could have a bent to it that's not exactly 100% accurate. There's a perspective to it possibly. And there's other sides to the stories many times. So think the best, take it in stride, encourage people, be excited about what they're creating, and get them more excited about their businesses. And let brides know that you're in the best community ever, not something where you have to criticize anything around you, but even to your teammates. Don't criticize your community. Be excited about your community. It's where you guys live. And the words that you put out there affect the atmosphere. So look for the positives. If I'm talking to somebody and they're telling me something negative about somebody in our community and they can't wait to, just spill the beans on all the negativity of these businesses and this restaurant and this whatever, you know what my mind is going? My mind is saying, whoop, be careful with this person because they tend to see the negative and tell other people negative things about other people, and they're going to do that to you. So be careful, right? There's a caution to it. Why? Because it's not wise. It shows a lack of wisdom, a lack of self-awareness, a lack of understanding. There's many perspectives to different sides of stories when it comes to businesses. And so it makes the person I'm talking to, I know that's someone to be cautious around because they don't have wisdom, understanding, experience, or grace even. So they're not looking to build something. They're looking to try to be the expert. And that's the difference. They're looking to try to build what they think is a higher platform for themselves, but they're not looking to build others. So it's a dangerous thing to do. So if you're doing that, if you naturally see the negative and then say the negative, you need to intentionally do the opposite. Do not stay there. Grow beyond that tendency so that you can be the strongest leader that you need to be. And it protects the culture inside your store. The other thing, do not be negative about other team members. There will be struggle that you have in your business with other team members. That's for sure. There will be conflict at different points with other team members. There's no way to avoid conflict at different points, but it doesn't mean that you go and talk about it to everybody or talk about what you experience with this team member with someone else without the purpose of it being helpful to solve whatever that problem is. There's no reason to share it and spread it out. And then maybe you and the other person get things solved, but how do you go back around to all the people that you've talked to and let them know it's been solved and how it was solved and then bring them to, they're now carrying this weight that you've put on them of this negativity about another team member. And then they will naturally start looking for those things in that other team member to verify what it is that you've said to them. It's a horrible dynamic. It kills a culture immediately. So be the one who says the strengths of everyone else, has grace for the failures. And if there's a struggle in your relationship with another team member, you see it as a struggle that you're both looking to solve and that you're going to do your side of it to try to solve it. And it doesn't feel good in the struggle, but it means we're still trying to move forward in it. We're trying to find the solutions and see what part I can have control over of myself, how I can control my perspective, how I can control how much time that maybe that person is able to speak into my life if they're a negative presence. Like I can make sure I've got lots of things to do when I come to work so that I don't just sit as a sitting duck, as a target to someone who might want to target me for something negative. I'm not going to just sit there and let it happen. And if they do, I'm going to let it roll off my back. I have a sweet friend in my life named Michelle Ann, and she has this beautiful thing that she does. She's from New York, and I love how she talks, but she's like, I'm Teflon girl. She's like, it just rolls off of me. I'm Teflon girl. That's my superpower. And it's so funny. But what is she saying? I choose to let things like that just go. I let anything that's trying to come at me in a negative way, and it's just going to go. Nope, you're not going to be able to do that. And guess who has control over that perspective? I do. I can help you. I can be a sounding board of different things, sure, but I'm also going to share things that will help you in what you're sharing. We're not just going to wallow in the dirt together. It's not how that's going to be. It doesn't help anyone. One, the thought doesn't help you. And then it gets compounded when you put it into words. It multiplies inside of you. Even chemically, it changes you inside of you when you put words to it. So be careful what you say, especially about other team members. It affects the culture. So put that guard at your mouth. Put that guard there that says, I'm going to say things that are strong. I'm going to say things that are encouraging. I'm going to not dwell on the negatives, and I'm going to say things that are problems. They're solutions. They're problem solving things. That's what I'm going to say. We talk about problems in order to solve them, not just to wallow in them. And then you're stronger because of that. And the last thing I'm going to share with you is this. Do not be negative about yourself. That is actually internal self-focus. To be constantly saying, well, I'm just this and I'm just that, and I've got this problem and I've got me, I. It can sound humble, but it's not humble. It's actually self-focused. It's saying, I'm a victim. I'm helpless. I'm no good at that. I'm bad at that. I'm so ugly. I wish I was this. I wish I was like her or like him or whatever it is. You're negative about yourself in your own mind. And then sometimes it comes out of your mouth. Guess what? That is going to absolutely define your path in so many ways. You will limit yourself if you listen to those kinds of thoughts. Those kinds of thoughts when we wake up in the morning can come to us and we don't even know where they're coming from. Who is that in my head telling me the bad things about myself as soon as I wake up? I have to stop that voice and I have to say, no. You sit down and you listen to me. This is what we're going to think, and this is what we're going to do, and this is how we are going to look for joy, and this is how we are going to give love to others. And we're going to take that focus that tends to always come back this way, and we're going to go, no. We're going to go out with it so that we can be fulfilled. That is what love does, and that is how love heals us, and that is how love fulfills us, and that is how love fills us, right? It fills us not by saying, what's filling me? It fills us by saying, how am I filling others? How am I encouraging others? How am I seeing others and valuing others? How am I helping others? I'll tell you, I know it doesn't help you to be coddled. It doesn't help you to hold on to excuses. It doesn't help you to have a victim mindset. It doesn't help you to blame others for any difficulties that you're having. It doesn't help you. So I, as your friend, am saying, don't do those things. Change your negative natural focus and say, but there are answers. There are better things to focus on that will stretch me longer and lift me higher and push me farther and empower me more. Those are the words I want for myself and for you and for your team and for everyone that interacts with you. Don't let your culture drift with those easy things that will sneak in there. Be determined to grow. Be the first one that wants to change. Be the first one that wants to find out what was the tiny thing that you could have done better. It doesn't mean, I'm always finding something wrong with myself. It's that I'm always finding things where I can grow. Do you hear that difference? It's not I'm always finding things wrong with myself. It's I'm always finding things where I can grow. Positive growth forward. That's what's worth your attention. That's what's worth your time. And I can't wait to watch the results of that. So hit save on all of that. Let's go out and intentionally grow. Protect your culture. It's where everything else grows from. It's so, so important. Have a great day. If this was helpful for you, helpful to you at all, give me a comment, shoot me a message. I love getting your messages. Share this with someone else. Share it with your team so that you're all on the same page in this mindset. And let's watch it kind of give us like this launch forward in our businesses together or in your relationships as well. So I hope it helps you all the way around. We'll see you next time on Hit Save on That. Thanks so much for being here, guys. It's always great to have you at the table.